Hello, soul friends. This is Miriam. Welcome back to my channel. Today's pick a card reading is going to be a special on a message from Fairy or Fae. So your fairy guides or your fae guides are popping in like your dragon guides have been. We'll see who else pops in. I also get some collective sometimes from like cat and raven energies. So, and then we tap into a lot of rabbit energy when we do our springtime Easter themed setup. So that's getting closer by the day. So remember, no matter your individual beliefs, tarot or oracle reading is your spirit guides coming forward to give you advice, or just simply your subconscious mind helping you answer life's ponders. No matter how you look at it, it is healthy and you are in the right place. This is the book, not the box. Wow. That was like the slowest reveal ever. I apologize. So these will be the cards we will be using. We're going to be looking at things like which fairy has come in to speak to you specifically. We're going to be looking at like Irish kind of world fairies. Okay. And then we're going to look at what that means for you, who it involves, what you should do about it, etc. It's going to be very in-depth. So without further ado, let's get some cards laid out with some live shuffling, and we will get into your readings. Here we go. Oh, there they are. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay. Get you some clovers, group one. You can be this clover. Ooh. Ooh. Group two, you can be this clover. Group three, you can be this one. And group four, you can be this one. Alrighty, pause if you need. And we will see you in your individual readings. Bye. Hello, group one. So if you picked this clover, we're going to get into your reading. Which fairy is coming through to speak to you? We will be reading some from the book on the fairy that comes through for you. And then we will also be looking at your individual situations with some tarot, who's involved, what's the situation, maybe some name channeling descriptions, confirmations that you're in the right place, birth date confirmations with tarot as well. And then we also will see what animals you should work with according to this fairy, what you should practice with our sigil deck, what this is going to open up for you with the door deck, and why now, or what is the big picture with the spellcasting deck. Okay. That's just for me as much as it is for you. Let's go ahead, maybe more. Let's go ahead and take a look. Okay, you did get it in reverse. We have King. King of Summer by the borders. That's how you can tell with this deck. The Oakman. Look at him side-eyeing us. He's side-eyeing you, group one. What's his deal? All right, let's find out why he's visiting you today. So he is the King of Summer card. The Oakman. Okay, So oakmen are tree fairies in England. So some of you might be English or of English descent. Sometimes they are merged with oak trees, and sometimes they appear as forest dwarves who offer tempting food to passing mortals, which will turn out to be poisonous fungi disguised by fairy glamour. Never eat anything these little suckers offer you. They like to offer a lot. Even the ones that you like work with that you kind of trust. Like fairies are like working with fae is sort of like working with. Well, and it depends on what your idea of fae is. Okay, maybe we should do a whole video on what fae are. I'll do some research. Let's not delve into that right now. We're still just learning about this little fairy here. He is accompanied by a fox. Oh, he is. Look at that. Okay. If bluebells are growing in a copse, it invariably indicates the presence of oakmen, and mortals should be warned to avoid the area. Bluebells, but bluebells are so pretty. Okay, moving on. Oakmen become extremely angry and dangerous if their tree is cut down. So you might be into trees. You might be like what people call a tree hugger. You might be an outdoorsy person. You might be somebody who likes to camp. Okay, I'm going to skip to the divinatory meaning, and then I might hop back over to the descriptions of this guy. So, when the mighty oakman appears in your spread, he indicates power, good government, received knowledge, and authority. His gifts are willpower and self-control, and the oakman promises that if you act correctly and honorably, you will be rewarded. The oakman may represent a real person in your life, a mature man in a position of authority. He is reliable, honest, practical, methodical, and conscientious. He loves his family and traditions. Interesting, group one. A couple of flashes came into my mind. So let me get my pen and pencil ready and set this book right here so that we can jot this down. I got a flash of someone who is being represented by this card who's watching right now. So not representing a man in your life, but you are the man in this situation. It's like you're a father, perhaps. A husband, perhaps. Oh my goodness, that just popped in. Somebody said a guilty husband. Interesting. We might delve into that, or that just might be confirmation that you're here. We might not be getting into why you feel guilty today. Maybe. Ooh, you just gave me an idea, though, for a topic. I'm going to write that down. Why do you feel guilty? Topic idea. Thank you. Sorry you feel guilty, though. I feel like guilt is like the worst feeling. Just the absolute worst one out of all of them. Okay. Sorry for my awful handwriting if you can read it. So I'm seeing a father, husband. That part that we were reading said may represent a real person in your life. A mature man in a position of authority. He is reliable, honest, practical, methodical, and conscientious. He loves his family and traditions. I feel like that's you, some of you. Okay, not all of you, but some of you in group one. Remember, this came out in the reversed. So, I want to look at the reversal as well. Okay. The oakman reversed indicates idleness, complacency, inertia, fear of change, the inability to adapt to a changing circumstance. He points to the failure to seize opportunities or to follow up on promising openings. The oakman reversed may personify a real person in your life, a mature man who is materialistic, uncaring about anything except his own interests, ruthless, and unable to see anyone else's point of view. Okay, don't freak out. I don't feel like this represents you, who you are. I feel like this message of it in reverse is that you're being too hard on yourself. So we are going to talk about the guilty husband. Why do you feel so guilty, husband? What's going on? You're also a father. Okay, hang on there. And let's see who else is popping up. Who else's guides are coming in and referring. Let's see if we can get somebody else. Who else is here with this oak man? Okay, for the father husbands and possibly some others that are watching, some of you are worried you're going to end up like your father. Okay. Some of you are worried about failure, worried of failure. Okay. Failing as a parent, failing as a father. If you're not a male, you might be like a single woman and you have the father roles because you're single, right? And so you might have that guilty feeling because you don't feel like you're doing enough. So single moms is coming through. Who else might be here? Sparts. Just in case you're ever listening to me talk on one of my videos, or if you're new, actually, let's do it with a Z. So I like to laugh at stereotypes because they're funny. And the stereotype of the woman who does like readings, like spiritual readings in old movies, is like this woman of like some unknown like Eastern European descent, usually, or at least her accent, her fake accent denotes that in some way. She always has like a scarf wrapped around her head, like, but it's not like any like traditional scarf you see people wearing around their heads. It's like just this random like, I don't even think it's like a traditional headscarf. I think they literally found a scarf that was like velvety and they wrapped it around this woman's head, right? It's like a character, it's a caricature, a stereotype that really doesn't exist. Like Fez in that 70s show, okay? Like, I didn't watch that 70s show either, but hopefully you got the context clues. Okay, so whenever you hear me say Sparts, I'm doing it in that fake lady, gypsy woman accent from the stereotypical fortune teller in old movies. The Sparts are talking to your child. So Sparts are spirits, and I refer to them affectionately as Sparts. Okay, with a Z. All right, now that we got that out of the way, and only group 1 knows this, I might get to tell group 2, 3, 4 maybe about Sparts. I keep meaning to put like text on the screen so it looks more high tech, but you know, whatever. I've got a notepad, so let's just use that. Okay, moving along. Anybody else here connected to Oakman? Nope. I'm feeling a lot of like parental guilt and husband guilt for some reason. Husband guilt for some. Some of you are guilty you don't have a husband, and some of you are a husband who is guilty because you don't think you're being a good enough husband or father. And I don't feel this is true. I feel like you're being hard on yourself. I feel like some of you might have like temptation on your mind. Like maybe you have like an attraction for someone who's not your spouse, and you're like, bad me, bad, right? Like, no. But at the same time, like, I don't feel like you've acted on it. We're gonna get into some tarot here very soon, but yeah, I'm not feeling like you've like acted on it or that you've done anything like actual bad. Okay. One thing, you know, if you're, you know, just some advice, if you're attracted to somebody else and you feel guilty and whatever, you can always like, you know, sit down with your spouse and talk to them about it. It's an uncomfortable conversation, but you know, I would always want my partner to come talk to me before they did something with a person they were attracted to. So think about it that way. Okay, here's something else that we can think about working with the oak man. Trees are honored for knowledge they gain during their long lives. And practitioners of magic, I added that in. Sometimes simply meditate with their backs to trees to communicate with their energies. Interesting. Sometimes a tree will allow you to take a branch of living wood that connects with its knowledge and power, no matter how far from the tree it is taken. This is called a wand, and it will be given, and to be given one by the tree spirit is a great honor that must be earned and never stolen. Okay, so you got some tree stuff going on. You might work with trees. Again, you might like trees. You might be an outdoorsy person. You might live around a lot of trees or live out in the country. This just tells you how to make a wand. If you want to know how to make a wand, I can share the rest of that in the comments section if you like. Yeah, because that's all about wands. Okay, well, somebody is also worried about ending up like their father, who was like the Oakman in reverse. A mature man who is materialistic, uncaring about anything except his own interests, ruthless, and unable to see anyone else's point of view. Some of your single women who are single moms watching this group, your ex is like that. But if you're like the husband or father watching this, I think you're in the clear, buddy. Okay? Be easy on yourself. All right, so we have our situations, correct? Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some tarot and look at more situations and just confirmations that you're in the right group. I don't know, so Spirit, just help us get whatever information group 1 needs from this fairy that's come to visit. Maybe you sit in a tree to do your thinking. Maybe that's your thinking place. 4 of Wands. 2 of Cups. Yep, definitely feeling marriage vibes for those father-husband people who feel like they're not doing enough. For those who are like single women, I feel like you want so badly to have like a partner to help you through. Not just, you feel like you're doing okay, you can handle it, and you certainly would rather do it alone than deal with any BS from any guy or partner, right? But it's like you feel lonely. You don't have that connection with like a person, physical connection. You're lonely physically and emotionally. I get it. And that's like kind of like your goal would be like, your life would be great if you could just find like a great partner, right? With the husband and fathers, and then those that are worried that they're going to be like their father, that could be male or female. I feel like you have this ideal in your mind, and it's been ideal your whole life. Like you've never been like a cheater. You've never been like somebody who even looked at other people really, and certainly never got into any shenanigans. But there is definitely like this feeling of attractiveness towards someone. Attraction, and you feel like they're attracted to you too, and that's what makes it harder. Like if you've been maybe attracted to other people before, but because they like had no interest in you whatsoever, you were like, meh, nice to look at, whatever, I'm married anyway, it doesn't matter. But this person, like there's like an electric connection kind of situation, and it's very strong and it's very tempting because you kind of wonder like, man, if I actually crossed a line and made a move, would they stop me, or would they, and you think about that sometimes a lot. I really don't see you acting on it though. Like the guilt that I'm seeing and feeling is so, and if you're female and you're married and have kids and you're feeling guilty about being attracted to somebody else, just go ahead and apply that to yourself. Like I just felt a very strong male presence. Like, it's okay. Like, we're all just animals after all, darling. Like, I don't know what to say to make you feel better. Like, everybody gets attracted to people. You just have to, like, not act on it if, like, that's a deal breaker for, like, you and your partner, right? You can talk to your partner. I feel like you're like, no way could I, because if they think even for a second that I was that attracted to somebody else, like, they would be really hurt. I would be hurt if they felt that way about somebody else. Fair, you know, and like you don't have to tell them, like, especially if you don't act on it, you can just bury those feelings down to you. I'm sorry for laughing. I'm not laughing at you, I promise. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I find it refreshing that you're going through that kind of agony instead of just acting on it like most people probably would, like over half of the population probably would, right? Um, Based on statistics, based on what I run into out in the world when I'm talking to people about what they want to know. Yep. But yeah, it's like there's like guilt over having the thoughts. So like you might have like a very sort of like spiritual background where like honor plays a big role, and like honor and fidelity and all that is a big deal. Those of you that are single and wanting something that's like you want that from somebody, you don't want somebody that's like your dad, or you don't want somebody to be stuck with you if you're like your dad, right? Like I think we got all of our scenarios all figured out. Okay. Just show me some more tarot spirits. What else do you want them to know? Or like, can we get some more confirmation that they're in the right place? I mean, I feel it's pretty cut and dry. I just heard the name Sharon. I could pop out with a name. It could be any name that's significant to you. It could be your name, the name of the people that you're involved, etc. Okay. So the people that are involved, well, oh, I see. Yes, fine. Okay. I see the people that are attracted want some information on the person they're attracted to. I'm curious as well. Because you're curious. You're making me curious. Okay. That's going to be boring for the people that aren't here about that. All right. But let's look at that while we're on the discussion. And it popped into my head anyway, so I don't remember what trail I was going off onto there. So let's just forge a new trail. What is the person they're attracted to feeling and thinking about them? I think they want to know if this person is also attracted back. They think they are, but they're not sure. So let's just find out. Are they attracted to group one? They're conflicted about it. Okay. What else do they feel for group one? Okay, so here's the deal. I feel like for the most part, they're not available either. Like, either they are with someone as well and are not available that way, or they're not willing to be with somebody who's with somebody else kind of energy. There's like this very high moral. Like, I don't come across this very often. It's very exciting, which makes me feel like there might be some new viewers. You don't have to tell me which group you're in. Just tell me if you're a new viewer. Welcome if you're new. Not that my other viewers are morally corrupt or anything. I've just never seen this level of restraint when there's this level of attraction. Like most people just go for it, I guess. Okay, let's see. And I understand why you don't. It's like very complicated. I don't want to go into all the details, but it's like you don't want to be that kind of person. They don't want to be that kind of person, but they definitely have thought about you with that 3 of Cups there, and then the conflicted feelings, and then the 2 of Cups energy with that 4 of Wands. You know, they could be like somebody here, if not both of you, are still very in love with their spouse or their partner. And there's just this weird, like this attraction just came out of nowhere, and they're like, what is this? You know, like this is maybe has never happened to somebody before. And so there's that feeling of conflicting, like, no, I want my person to just be my only person. And where is this coming from? Is kind of messing with your emotions, your passions. and it makes you feel guilty. You feel bad about it. I'm so like you feel kind of like you're cheating even though you haven't done anything, and the other person might feel the same. I'm seeing like a lot of mirroring in the attraction aspect, not a lot of mirroring in personality. I think you might actually be quite different than the person you're attracted to. Like in this card, they're wearing like kind of different outfits, but they're still like, hey, hey. Oh, okay. I know what to do next. Let's check out. Let's check out. Oh. How you know each other. How do they know each other? Let's get some scenarios that way. That'll make things interesting for me. I'm just nosy. And confirmation for you. How do they know each other? Water, Queen of Cups. I want to get some more. How do they know each other? How do these people know each other? Ace of Pentacles. The naked lovers. Of course they're naked. Come here, box. All right. We'll cover that up soon enough. Okay. The Lover's card is like making me wonder, like, did you have a sexual encounter with this person? But like, maybe not. Like, I really don't feel that. Like, I guess you can tell me in the comments if you would like. You know, hide your identity and then tell me. But I swear I'm not laughing. I know that like this is serious for you. I'm sorry. It's just like I feel like this is an unusual situation for you, which is it feels so wholesome to me. I can't help it but laugh a little bit. Okay, hang on. Okay, so anyway, so one scenario that's popping into my mind is that you work together in some capacity, but I feel like there's like a different layer to it. Like maybe you're like the boss of them in some way, or like you're in charge of them. Like I got this pentacle and then this water with the Queen of Cups gives me like the feeling of, and this like angel like looking over the lovers. I get this feeling of like healthcare stuff. So like maybe somebody's got a crush on like a subordinate or a patient or vice versa. Maybe you've got a crush on them. But like you know about each other's personal life, which is interesting. Like usually you don't know about each other's personal life in healthcare. I guess you would if you like worked there and then you went there for medical care too. I don't know. Anyway, that being said, I'm sure you know your own situations, but just for confirmation, like healthcare could be involved. It could just be like you or they work in healthcare and that's just confirmation that you're in the right place. Like I definitely feel some of you work together. Therapist relationship. There might be some attraction to a patient or patient attraction to a therapist. Okay. What about the single mom situations here? Some of you might work in healthcare. Like I feel like your whole soul existence is like making enough money for you and your kids. And like you're still fine with it being like that. You just like wish that you had somebody you could curl up next to you. Like you've even tried like being with guys that were different, that weren't like go-getters business wise. Like I feel like you've tried that, and that you've tried like the guys that were, you know, seem more stable financially, but then they were like not present or not willing to take on the kids or whatever, right? And then you tried somebody that wasn't so career oriented, and they ended up like actually like kind of leeching off of you, like one, you know, borrowing money or whatever, like stuff like that. I'm feeling scenarios like that. Different scenarios. It's all one scenario, just different scenarios like that. I feel like you work long shifts to make that money. And like, you don't need somebody to help you. You just wish you had like companionship, like adult companionship, besides just like, maybe like, I don't even know if you have time for like friends. It's just like you and your kids and your job. And the job is like, I think you're good at it and you like it. There's a lot of healthcare vibes, like working long hours, tired feet, having to be like acute and accountable all the time. It doesn't have to be healthcare, but it feels like something that carries a lot of responsibility. And I feel like you take as much responsibility, for your personal life, your kids, as you do your job, and so it's like you're a very serious person all around. Like all of you guys are like very serious. I feel like that's why like the ones that are attracted to somebody are, yeah. And like those of you that are looking for somebody that's not like your dad, like you're looking for somebody that's like going to work for you. Right. So Spirit, let's look at these single moms or single parents real quick and see. Are they going to find this person they seek? You got the Chariot. That's definitely about like finding someone, making it work. Show me more about this Chariot energy. Yeah, the Judgment card and the Queen of Pentacles. Like feeling like you've had a second chance at something. Answering a call, somebody answering a call for you, stepping into your actual like place in life that you're supposed to be. This is about things falling together, having victory. So like, yes, I do feel you'll find your person. I do. And I feel like that message of like, don't worry, you don't have anything to feel guilty for yet, that the other guys got. I feel like you, single people, you don't have to worry about turning into your dad or marrying somebody that was like your bad parent, kind of situation that was like the Oakman in reverse. Okay. You know better than that. That's why you've been alone for a while, is because you're not just like settling for any old person that comes along. You've tried different kinds. They were, kind of a mess, not worth your time, an emotional drain. It was easier without them than it was to have them. Those kinds of energies are definitely coming through. And, you don't want your kids to have to like suffer for those people coming into your life. And so, you've used sound judgment in not, just moving someone else in that was like available or that was showing you interest, right? Or that you were dating and you knew it wasn't working out, but you like move them in anyway so that you're not single, that kind of like, people do that. They're out there. They do it all the time. Kudos to you for not doing that. Kudos to you for being a good parent to your kids. So there's like this guilt of like, oh, I'm not a good enough parent because I'm single. I'm, busy all the time. I'm not doing enough and yada, yada, yada. And this guilt of like, oh, I'm a bad spouse, yada, 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 because I'm attracted to somebody else. Like, you haven't done anything yet. Like, there's all this like unnecessary guilt flying around with this group. Ease up on yourselves. Ease up on yourselves. Okay, let's look and see. Name channeling descriptions. Like I saw mostly healthcare flashes, but like anything that's like a long, grueling, away from home kind of job. And then like any type of spiritualism that's very, very, maybe not strict, but like you adhere to the principles of it. It could just be a moral code, a personal moral code. And the same thing with like the singles. It's like you know there's no shame in like being single. It's better than being with like a bad partner, right? But at the same time, it feels like you have like some kind of a core system or principle of having like a dual parented household or having a couple, ending up with somebody, etc., and so forth. And so that's also why there feels like such a disruption, even though to everyone else out in the outside world, you just look like you're trying your best and doing a good job. To your partner, they don't know. I don't feel like they know that you have these thoughts. And like, who knows if your partner doesn't have thoughts like that? I know that might not be something you want to think about, but maybe they have thoughts like that and they don't do anything about it. And who cares, right? It's something to think about. I know none of it is comfortable to think about. You're not going to end up like your dad. And those of you that are like with somebody, if this attraction turns into something more, and you like fall in love with that person and they fall in love with you and you decide you want to be together, just be upfront and honest with your spouses about it. Just don't sneak around. And then at least you did it in the most honorable way you could. Okay. All right. Let's look at some other things real quick. I want to look at what animals this fairy magic wants you to work with. What animals are going to help you out here? Oh, where'd my animals? There they are. What animals are going to help group one through their situations? Goodness, you got 3 animals. Let's look and see. You got the rat with adaptability, the ferret with observant, and the crow with sovereignty. I feel like you're going to be okay. Like the people that are single, I feel like you're going to find a person, You're adaptable. You've made it this far. You're going to continue to make it farther. Just be observant of the people around you and how they make you feel and continue doing the things that bring you joy rather than like dating apps or like meeting people, setups and all these things. Giving people a shot because they actually approached you and asked and you're like, well, nobody else asked me, so I guess I'll, try and see, right? If this is actually something worth my time. Instead of that, be observant of those around you. Maybe ask someone out yourself. Maybe, that kind of thing. The people that have the attraction, maybe talk to the person that you're attracted to, put it out there and be like, we're not going to do anything about it though, right? We're just going to be cool and see what happens. I'm only saying that because you're both seeming so hesitant to do anything that I feel like you could handle it. If you feel like if it gets put out there, you're just going to like run at each other and that's not what you want to happen, play it by ear, like gotta be careful with all those feelings and pheromones flying around. Okay. But yeah, be observant of your spouse. How is your spouse doing? Right? What are they up to? Have you checked on them? Have you looked at how they've been feeling? Have you spent any time with them? Be observant of why this attraction has happened in the first place. Since you're willing to, try to forego this attraction in favor of loyalty to a partner, then, it's good to look at why. Why did I become attracted? What's missing from my current relationship? And what might be missing? What do I think is missing from them? What do I think they have? What am I projecting onto them and what is true? Because a lot of times it might be projection. You might not know each other as well as you feel like you do. Or, maybe you don't know each other that well. It's just that strong of an attraction and you feel guilty about it. Maybe you have no intention of doing anything or telling anyone. You're just like, how do I deal with this? And like, how do you deal with it? Well, you just call your energy back to yourself. and just do the best you can. Just, you know, and eventually the feelings pass. And that's probably what everybody does, right? People that practice like celibacy, people that practice monogamy. I'm sure that that's, you know, what they would tell you. Or what I would tell you. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and look at some more things here. Yeah, but the sovereignty of the crow, I feel like you're going to make the right decisions for yourself. You're going to do the honorable thing. You're not going to be like your dad. Like, you're not going to turn into the Oakman in reverse. Okay. You're not going to be the bad guy. You've got control. You know, if you're single, you've got this, you've been doing it this long, you're going to be okay. Just be observant of those around you and know that you're sovereign and you're only inviting in the ones who are worthy of your sovereignty. And if they never show up, so be it, darling, right? Okay. Let's go ahead and look at the magic that this fairy energy wants you to use during this time. What magic should you tap into? What sigil should you use? So you can trace this to help yourself. Meditate on it. We have achievement, win the award, accolade, or contract. Yeah, I feel like it's the achievement of having control over your relationships, your situations, you know, being mindful enough to, you know, explore those uncomfortable feelings. Explore those feelings of loneliness, explore those feelings of attraction, and then make a decision where you actually consider all feelings involved. It's pretty rare, group one. I think you're pretty special people. That's for sure. All this guilt you're feeling. I swear the best people feel the most guilt. Okay. So draw that sigil. Make it your little thing. You have the power to resist temptation. You have the power to do things the right way, the honorable way. You have the power to do things on your own. On your own. Okay? Let's look at... You have the power to be the person you want to be. What is this all opening up for you? What is this whole situation going to open up for you? What is the big to-do? Let's look. We have this beautiful little door. Morning memory. Its healing gift runs a destined course. The morning dawn, our inspired source. Yeah, you're going to come out on the outside of this. You're going to do the right thing. Okay, with that, I'm going to leave you. If this was helpful, tell me how. Wait, no, hang on. I owe you a couple more. Hang on. Oracle decks, y'all. My bad, my fumbles. Here's one already ready for you. Is there anything else your guides want you to know? Oh, goodness gracious. Clarity. Okay. If you didn't get it today, it's coming, baby. And truth. I feel like some of you will talk to your people. And I feel like some of you are just going to be honest with yourself of like, the reason I'm single isn't because I'm not good enough. It's because they're not good enough for me, and that's fine to wait. Yes, indeed. It truly, truly is. All right. With that, I'm going to leave you. If this is helpful, tell me out in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you next time, y'all. Bye. Group 1, I apologize. This is the deck that I used for your tarot for some reason. When in the intro, I was using a totally different one. So anyway, for some reason, your guides chose this one instead. My broken brain helped us. So my apologies and bye. Hi, group 2. So if you pick this clover, Let's look at your fairy that came out. Ugh, I already screwed everything up. Group 1. I did group 1, and I did the wrong tarot deck. I just grabbed the wrong one. Yep. So, I don't know how I'm going to fix that. I'll just do a little I'm sorry video at the end. I'll be like, I'm sorry. This is the one I used. Yep, that's what I'm going to have to do. Hopefully I remember by the time I'm done with this reading. All right. So, let's get started. So let's take a look. We have the Knave of Winter, Jack Frost. Ooh. Check him out. He is frosty. Anytime I hear Jack Frost, I think of the movie Aliens when the soldiers tell each other to stay frosty and alert. And then I think there might even be a soldier in the film named Frost, and they call him Frosty a couple of times. I could be wrong. Anywho, some of you might be named Jack. Some of you might know somebody named Jack. Some of you might like Frosties. Some of you might like winter. Those are just some confirmations coming through. Let's look at the book and find out all about this fairy and why they have come to visit you. Let's open up the Winter Court and look at the Knave of Winter. I try to do a thing where I correspond these to what they would be in tarot, but I can't do it. They're too different. So it's like taking me, I've had this deck for years and I still don't know much about all the critters in here, but they're interesting and I really enjoy it. Okay. So everyone knows Jack Frost. He's a winter fairy who scatters ice in his wake, making the trees and grass sparkle like diamonds. He also paints window panes with elaborate frozen patterns, nips noses, fingers and toes with his chilly grip. He always dresses entirely in white with icicles dripping from his clothing. I like it when he has a little beard, like a little goatee, and it's like icy. Okay, he's from English folklore, a personification of the spirit of winter weather. He is one of a large number of individual fairies who control the weather, wind, storm, rain, lightning, sunshine, and so on. Jack has counterparts, whereas there is snowy weather in winter. Wherever. Jack has counterparts wherever there is snowy weather in winter. So he has counterparts. Because that means he has little friends. All right, all right. We'll go back to this. Let's look at the divinatory meaning. When Jack Frost appears, he indicates sudden unexpected changes, minor setbacks, temporary chaos, minor illnesses, accidents, and mishaps. The card may represent a person in your life, a young man with a strong opinion, or strong opinions in general, but his views shift from one day to the next. He is clever but inconsistent, charming but easily bored. He is good company, but don't rely on him for anything important. Goodness. Okay. Well, that coming through definitely feels like a romance message for some. If you're dealing with what I would call an aloof male. And that's exactly what he's been doing. A young man with very strong opinions, but his views shift from day to day. He is clever but inconsistent, charming but easily bored. He is good company, but don't rely on him for anything important. Like, he's so charismatic and like connecting with you when you're in the zone with this person, but then you don't hear from him for weeks. And you're like, are you like mad at me? Because like a second ago you were acting like I was your muse. What is happening here? And he goes frosty on you. Like cold chili. Okay, that's definitely coming through. So, like my answer to anybody dealing with somebody like that is run. Like, just don't even mess around with them. They are not ready for anything special. Okay, but that being said, this indicates sudden, unexpected changes, minor setbacks, temporary chaos, minor illnesses, accidents, and mishaps. I am feeling a minor illness for somebody watching. I feel like it was a minor illness, but it was like a huge inconvenience. Like perhaps it was in an area of your body where it was hard to go to work or dress for work, or it took time off work and you don't get to take time off work. Things like that. Like it's not like a life or death situation, but very inconvenient that it feels almost major. Like everybody else, it's like, oh, it's not major because you're not going to die. You know, you're like, well, actually, it's kind of major, Charlotte, because it sucks. And I've had this thing like wrapped around my leg for like, you know, or whatever, you know, like for months and it's not healing or whatever. Like that kind of energy is definitely coming through. Okay, working with Jack Frost. You can now visit the world of Jack Frost in the following path working. So you can communicate with this fairy if you wish. So imagine that you're standing in a narrow street of an old-fashioned village. The houses are thatched and the window panes small and leaded. You can close your eyes and go on a journey with me as I read. It is a winter's night and the snow falls steadily. You are alone. All the villagers are tucked up in bed. Suddenly you hear a gleeful laugh, and prancing down the street comes the strangest figure. It is a little man dressed in a sparkling white costume, icicles hanging from his ears and fingertips, maybe even a little pointy icicle-y goatee. Just saying. But these do not bother him, for he is Jack Frost himself, the prince of the winter fairies. With mischievous delight, good grief, this is a lot of description. He paints an intricate pattern on the cottage windows. Yeah, he's painting patterns on the windows. Okay, he invites you to admire his handiwork. He shows you the beauty of winter. He also, I feel, okay, this message is coming through. He shows you the beauty of like a time that sucks, right? So minor setbacks, illnesses, etc. Like, working with this guy is kind of like finding joy in those times when you can't really find a lot of joy because life sucks right now, right? You've had some setbacks. Things are not working out the way you wanted them to. Tables are not standing still. It's just maddening, you know? Illnesses, setbacks, inconveniences. Ooh, I just heard somebody's got family living with you. And then I got a sharp ringing in my ear. You've gotten to the point of like an insanity pitch of, I need them out of here. just so you don't feel bad. Like there was one time that my in-laws were at my house, like all of them. And my partner snores. And consequently, so do all of they. And there was one night that I like walked around the house and I like recorded at every door where they were all like sleeping. Just so you could hear like the chainsaw in each room going on and on and on. I like sent it to a friend and was like, tell me not to commit a homicide. So I get it. Okay. That's why I was laughing. Like if you've had those thoughts, you probably won't act on them. Don't act on them. You'll go to prison. But I feel like there might be somebody staying in your house that like have definitely worn out their welcome. Maybe you've worn out your welcome with them, even though they're in your house. I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that for somebody. So unwelcome guests is another scenario coming through that I feel. Unwelcome guests, company of some kind. They could be related to you. They might not be related to you. Either way, you don't care right now because they suck and you don't want them there anymore. I understand. Okay. I remember like talking with my partner about maybe taking in like a foreign exchange student back when I was a teacher. And then we were like, no flipping way, dude. What a bad idea that would be. Like, not only do you have this like stranger kid in your house, and I'm not saying you shouldn't do it if you want to, go for it. But like, they're going to make friends at school and they're going to bring those other kids back to your house. And I taught all of them. And I was like, no, we're not getting one. I can't deal with like certain ones coming to my house. Like some of them would be fine, but there were certain ones and you don't know who they're going to pick as a friend. Just saying, JS. Okay, but I digress. So he shows you the beauty of a sucky time. So like, you're going through what you're going through. Something won't heal, something won't whatever. Like, you know, do a routine of self-care that helps promote healing in some way. Make that part of your routine. Make it part of the routine of getting away from that unwelcome company by doing something just on your own. Do a setup of them like having to like vacate certain areas of the premises so that you can have alone time, whatever it takes, your place. Okay. This person that you might be dating that's like very aloof and just all over the place and very charismatic when they're interested in you and very, very brooding and dismissive and crappy when they're not. So for that, I feel like the Jack Frost message would be, what are you getting out of this with this person? Is it something that, like, can we let go of the idea that this is going to be the love of your life and just have fun with them? Or do we need to be like, no, deal breaker, I don't have time for this and we need to move on? That's something that you have to decide. I don't see that person like changing. Okay, so those are my situations that I'm seeing. Unwelcome guests and a person who is not quite present as far as a partner goes, or even a friend, maybe. Yeah, maybe even a friend. Friends that are like that are easier to deal with, because then you can just make them a fair weather friend where like you just hang out with them to have fun. And then that's it. And eventually like they're just not there for you when you need them, and you've been there for them, and you just like bounce or just never be there for them. Maybe try it that way. Do it differently than how I do it. And then somebody who's dealing with an inconvenient health issue. I felt that. What else was there? Like setbacks, accidents, mishaps, towers. You know, like a tower moment. Unexpected changes. I feel like a disappointment, you know, like maybe a trip that you didn't get to go on. Ooh, maybe there was a trip canceled by the person who was being aloof. Big plans got ruined because of their aloof nature. That's also coming through. Okay. Let's look at some more scenarios and maybe who you guys are, who they are, etc. with some tarot. I'm going to use the correct deck this time. I hate myself. Interesting. We have the Sun card and y'all are getting Jack Frost, which is very much the opposite of like sunny energy. So I definitely feel like that difference between like you and this person, if this is representing a person for you. Okay. If this is representing an inconvenient time, it almost feels like maybe the weather's not cooperating even, and it hasn't been for a long time. I'm sorry. I feel you. The weather has not been cooperating where I've been either, like to the mood. And it's not even like, oh, the weather's acting up and I just don't like it when it's rainy and I prefer sunshine, or I like it to be like cooler when the sunshine's out. I hate it. No, it's like pollution and it's gross and it's depressing and I hate it. And then we had no snow and that made it even grosser looking out there, I guess. So anyway, I guess it would have just made all the snow look dirty. Depressing. I get it. Some kind of a like, yeah, a disconnect of like being in an environment or with somebody who just is not providing much joy. And then the message of Jack Frost is to find joy within that system, whether that's finding a way to get out of the system, whether that's finding joy within the system. It's kind of up to you. Some of you might be like fire signs, or born in the summer months. I know not all the fire signs are summer months. Just take it however it resonates for you. Okay. Yeah, there's like this feeling of like a lack of like what you need. Just overall, just a lack of what you need. A lack of things working out the way you wanted them to, a lack of your health cooperating the way you needed it to, a lack of having your space to yourself, a lack of having somebody treat you the way you would like to be treated. Yes. What else? Give me some scenarios, Spirit. Like, what are these people, how do these people know each other for the people that are like dating or friendships or whatever? What else? How do they know each other? I feel like because this person's young or has a young attitude, I feel like the ones that are like romantically involved or in a friendship with this person are also young, or you knew each other when you were young. It's like there's this like feeling of like meeting each other outside. Like maybe you knew each other when you were like kids, or like you knew each other like in college and now you're out, or you knew each other in high school and now you're out, or whatever. This person came into your life, and that's part of what makes it hard with like them disappointing you. If they're disappointing you, is that they're the ones that came to you and now then they pull away, and it feels like very confusing and frustrating. And when you have their attention, it's so good. It's like having the sunshine on you, and then it's gone. It's like the cold winter. No, run. Run from people like that. They will bleed you dry. Yes, anyone can change. And I tell my clients that because anyone can change. So that's always possible. But like they have to be like given boundaries so that they have to change. And they might not do it for you. They might have to do it on the next person. They might never change. You know, that kind of energy is always going to be there. Could they grow out of it because they're so young? Yes. Okay. Unwelcome guests. How do you guys know each other? Some of you, I feel like it's siblings, like your sibling and their family are living with you. Like you're adults, but like your siblings living with you. I'm feeling like kids clashing and sharing bedrooms, and it sucks kind of energy. Not getting quiet time. Maybe there's a baby involved and it cries. Or they disturb the baby, make it cry. So then you get frustrated at them for waking up the baby. You know, just that chaotic household energy of like, yeah, sibling rivalry, or like people that it's not like you don't love them, but like you might not like them that much. Like that kind of vibe is definitely coming through with the unwelcome guests. So it could be like friends of your spouse that you don't like very much, but he's been close with them forever. They grew up together, you know, or whatever, like vice versa. You know, it's her best pal from college and they're always going to hang out together. You can't stand them, you know, but here they are, and you hate the spouse even worse, but here they are. That kind of energy is definitely coming through. Or like you're in a relationship and your spouse has moved in their sibling, something like that. A trip being canceled, inconveniences, health issues, like people not giving you what you need, the doctor's not figuring out what you need to get better, the people at work not giving you time off. Those kinds of energies are coming through. Okay. Give me some names of people, descriptions of them. Some of you know a person named Tom, or maybe your name is Tom. Some of you are reclusive or know somebody who is, like somebody that's like a shut-in, somebody that like stays by themselves. And that might be why you don't like people in your house. This bear is significant. I'm not sure how. Somebody's last name might be Bear. Somebody might be a teddy bear. You guys might call somebody Bear. I knew a guy named Bear once. That was his actual name, was Bear. He was cool. I liked him. What else? This young man energy is so strong. It's like trying to eclipse everything. Like, I feel like this person has kind of effed some of you over in some ways. Like, as a friend, as a partner, they may have cheated on you in the past. They may have did something underhanded to you, lied to you in some way if you were friends, stole something from you, credit, if not an object, something, stole attention, something like that. Somebody worked at a fair or a carnival. You, them, somebody you know. Somebody has a connection to that. Maybe you did 4-H, or your family had a booth there, or you'd be like a person that does it for a living. There are those people. I've seen it. I've done it. No, I did not work in the carnival, but I worked in exhibition buildings. Oh, geez, Louise. 2 swords. You feel stuck. I feel stuck. Like, I feel stuck right now with you. So, okay. Basically with this situation, I know we want it to change. We want the person's behavior to change. We want the people to leave. We want to heal, or we want our plans to go through the way that we planned them. It doesn't feel like that's happening. Do you guys feel that with me? So if that's not the reality of the situation that we can create for ourselves, let's take a look at what can we do in the meantime to find that joy, because that Jack Frost was like, even though you hate winter, make pretty little snow angels outside, right? I feel the collective groan of all of you. So we're going to look at some animal spirits to help you through this time, okay? Animal spirits to help bring Group 2 joy during this time. I do feel this is a temporary time. I don't feel like this is going to be forever. Okay, let's look at this first one. We have the moth with caution. I'm going to get a couple more before we move on. Hedgehog with disguise. Interesting. And bat with direction. Okay. So here's what these animal spirits are telling me. With the moth card here with the caution, I definitely feel this for these people that are like really into that person that's aloof and not really that good of a friend or a partner, okay? It's almost like a moth to the flame. Your guides are definitely saying to be cautious. They are like not who they say they are, perhaps, okay? Same thing with people staying in your house. There might be some caution in that they're not telling you the whole truth, okay? Trust your intuition when it comes to working with the people that you're working with, if you're working with people in this situation. Those of you that are dealing with health, I feel like you might want to get a second opinion if you haven't already. Nothing hurts with getting a second opinion. I know you might not be able to afford it, so just do some research and see what kind of options you have, okay? Use your intuition to guide you through this. Alrighty. The people who had like a trip canceled or plans canceled in some way, your guides are saying that this was like a blessing in disguise, that something bad was going to happen, that your guides were actually stopping you from something catastrophic. So it's like you didn't get to go on that vacation, but then like you find out later that like, a hurricane hit the island you were going to stay on or whatever, like I don't think it'll be anything that dramatic because they were talking about minor things, minor illnesses, minor inconveniences, but and you might not even see why. This might be the only way you get to know, okay? But your guides wanted you to know that, and that your intuition and their help, kept you safe, to trust in that. When things don't work out, that there's a reason for that as well. Okay. Oh, geez. Okay. Yeah. Okay. moving along, we are going to get what kind of magic should you be doing, or what kind of magic will aid you during this time. Hello, hello. We have a labyrinth. That one's going to be a hard one to trace, so pause if you need. Trace it with like some see-through paper and a light pencil. Don't push on your screen too hard. And then you can use that for things if you like. Screenshot it, whatever you want to do. Okay. We have labyrinth, transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration, enlightenment. Yeah. When you can't change your environment, being able to change your higher level of being is good. Figuring out a way to meditate and feel good. Something that I have to do, and it sucks that I have to do this still in my life. I'm working on it, but whatever, you know. If you watch my channel, you may have heard me mention that I have like PTSD. It's pretty severe. And so what I have to do at times, just because my PTSD is so severe, it can affect my health issues that I have. Which one came first? We don't know. So anywho, when that happens to me, and I apologize if you can hear me kind of dabbing at my nose with a tissue here. I have to do this thing where like I have to force myself to lie down and spend sometimes a lot of time doing some kind of meditation ritual of some sort. I have my own. You all have to find your own little like combo that helps you go into trance easier. But like literally get myself into some kind of a trance so that my body will relax and it will heal. It is insane how worked up I get. So getting to a higher level of being, it can heal your body. It can help you find joy when you're like surrounded by people that you can't stand. Okay. It can help you see things before, you leap. It can help you rethink things through before you say something that you might regret. It can help you see a big picture about somebody. Like, you're not so cool. Why have I been chasing you around or hoping that you call me? You flake. Bye. So just, try it on a little bit. Try it on for size. See how it fits. Okay. Let's go ahead and look at, what else am I looking at here? What is this situation going to open up for you? Like, why is this happening? What's the big picture? What is it leading to? I'm going to flip these around. I want one to pop out. Pop one out to us. Thank you. Interesting. Look at this Zenny door you got. It's open. There's no actual door. And there's this like Zen master looking guy sitting there. Chill AF. When you're talking about meditating, like, right? So let's look at it. Offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows, share more than expected, and see love come around. Aw. Okay. So share your love. Don't share it with anybody that doesn't deserve it. But like, people that are stuck in your house, like you let them come in for a reason. Maybe they suck right now because they're just an inconvenience. But, like, let the love flow. Let it like be a thing. Let it be something that you focus on rather than the irritation, and see where that gets you. I'm not saying that you have to be a Pollyanna here. I'm just saying that it's always better to try to find a solution rather than worship the problem. Okay. Giving more to somebody that won't give you anything in return. No, this to me feels like giving more to who deserve it. And that could be you for a while. So keep that in mind. That's a specific message for someone as well. Okay. Other little cards we're going to get for you. We're going to get these. What else do you want group 2 to know? Group 2 to know. Okay. Answers. Yeah, I feel like this is a temporary situation, and like answers are coming. Manifestation. I also feel like, yeah, if you find those joy pockets, right? If you find the little beauty in the frosted window of the winter wasteland of your life right now. Sorry. You can manifest more good stuff. And that's something I try to tell people all the time, including this kid right here, me, you, moi, Miriam, aka the mage, that if I'm in a dire, awful situation, just sitting around and going, oh, why, oh, no, like, it's just not going to help. Doesn't mean I don't do that sometimes. We all have our moments. Sometimes you got to let out those emotions. It really sucks when there's a witness. But here we are. And instead of doing that, I have to focus on, what do I have around me that is awesome? Like, okay, yes, my life is falling apart, but my cats are healthy, and like, let's start there. I have food for them. Let's start there. I have food for me. Let's start there. Moving forward, let's start there. Okay. And doing those things that you feel grateful for, when you do that, and then you imagine getting the things that you want in addition to what you already have, it's easier to manifest more good when you show that gratitude for the things you already have, even if they're few and far between. And I'm not minimizing anybody's situation. The more you tap into the positivity, the more answers will come to you on how to make things feel better when you're stuck in situations that you cannot change. When you have somebody, we did a video, I just uploaded it this morning, about like somebody projected onto you, and you know, what are you going to do with that? Why did that happen? Right? What was the deal? Did you do something wrong? Right? If you want to check that out, go for it. But it's this idea of, the more you practice this positivity, the more answers come faster. So like, if somebody projects on you one day, you don't spend like the whole next week being upset every time you think about it. You're able to brush it off sooner, for example. That's just an example. Okay. With that being said, I feel like I can let you go. Yeah, I do. If this was helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you would like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. My friends, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye, 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 bye. Hello, group 3. So if you picked this clover, ay. Let's look at what fairy you got. Okay, so you got it in reverse. We'll talk about that in a minute. You got the Boogeyman, the 8 of Winter card in reverse, which is probably a good thing, because Boogeyman looks mean. Boogeyman looks scary. My big thumb looked scary there for a second. Okay. Boogeyman in reverse. Well, let's talk about Boogeyman. Let me get the book out here and learn about this fairy visit. Winter Court, number 8. Hey. A lot of winter cards today. Okay, there we go. So, old-fashioned parents sometimes invoke the boogeyman to frighten naughty children into good behavior, saying, if you don't behave, the boogeyman will get you. Indeed, boogeymen have been known to steal away naughty children. A boogeyman lives in a boogie hole, the cupboard under the stairs. Oh no, I have one of those. What? I have one of those dicks under my stairs. Okay, well, awesome. Ugh, no wonder they seem creepy under there. Or in cellars, barns, old houses, mines, and caves. In fact, anywhere dark and dank. Oh, cool, because like I live in a place where there's mines, caves, old houses, barns. Excellent. If you look through a keyhole, you might catch sight of a boogeyman's eye looking back at you. Oh, well, that's just wonderful. Give us all nightmares. They may appear as shadowy black humanoids, but can change shape to look like black dogs, tree trunks, or beings with icy fingers and glowing yellow eyes. Lovely. Usually, though, the only sight of a boogeyman is as a cloud of dust. They may lurk invisible behind people, causing an uneasy feeling or mischievously pull the bedclothes off sleepers. Sweet. Boogeyman is also a general term for a mythical, frightening, supernatural being who is used to frighten the vulnerable. The word is derived from bo, or Old Anglo-Saxon word meaning demon. The word bow is a component in many fairy names. It is also a prankster's custom to creep up behind people and scare them by suddenly saying bo or boo. This originally meant the devil is behind you. Wow. Well, that was a fun little lesson, boys and girls. Let's digest that for a second and just figure out what we're going to do to kick boogeymen out from under our stairs. I think that's a fine thing that I'm going to learn tonight. Ask me in the comments if you'd like me to do a video how to get boogeymen out from under your stairs. Traditionally speaking. Okay, sorry for sniffling. The divinatory meaning: when the grotesque boogeyman appears in your cards, he indicates unfounded fears and groundless anxiety. You have lost your sense of proportion and are worrying over nothing. Perhaps you are more than a little oversensitive at this time. But you got it in reverse, so let's look and see. Depending on the position of the card, you or someone close to you is suffering from a highly disturbed mental state and perhaps irrationality, bordering on paranoia or depression and despair. Aw. Working with boogeyman, not recommended. Okay. So this message is about somebody feeling bad. Maybe you feel bad, or somebody you know feels bad. Your highly disturbed mental state, perhaps irrationality bordering on paranoia or depression and despair. Okay. If this is about a romance and the person that you are dating is a young man, there might be some messages in group 3 or group 2 for you. If not, don't worry about it. Because I am feeling that the people in this group are suffering from a sort of like, I hope you can't hear me erasing. I like to erase a lot because I reuse paper. Because my notes are horrendous. I'm never going to use them for anything after I've used them for what I use them for. So if I can erase them, I do. Okay, so as far as the energy that I'm feeling, it feels like there's somebody in your life that is like a person you're dating that like love bombs you and then pulls away. And they've done it so much that when you're waiting to hear back from them and you think maybe they're not going to call you back ever again this time, it literally makes you feel like you're losing your mind. And so I feel like that's what they mean by that heightened mental state. Like, I don't think you're mentally ill or that you're crazy. I feel like you're going to go crazy sometimes when you're waiting for this person. So that's definitely coming through. So we'll take a look at that. Is there anything here for somebody who has a person that's in a state? I'm feeling like a mentally ill family member or close friend, somebody you care about. I don't believe that you're romantically involved with them. But if I'm wrong and you are, you can still probably hear messages. Anywho, those are the two storylines that I'm picking up for the people that are watching this particular group. Anything else, Spirit? Oh, there's someone in this group who is being tormented by something that feels like a boogeyman, like you're having like creepy things happening around your house. Well, that's a different storyline. Okay. Okay. I'm writing these down so I remember all our storylines here. Being tormented by something that scares you in your house that you can't explain. And I feel like the people watching that are experiencing this are kind of freaking out because it's not like it feels like you've been in the place that you've been living for a while and you never had problems before, and suddenly you do have problems. So let's look at that specifically for you. Why now with the experiences? And I also feel a little bit of that with the people who are dealing with a person, like either a romantic partner that never calls you back, or like they love bomb and then they disappear. It feels like they were really good at first and now they're starting to be a problem. So we're going to look specifically for you to see if there is a pattern developing here or a reason it just showed up. If they do this, if it's already a pattern, don't worry. This is just for those that it feels like it's out of the blue. Okay. And then the same thing with the like mentally ill family or friend, most likely platonic person. Were they doing well? And then something happened? You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to discern that. So we'll look into that for you. Was this sudden or have they been doing it? Were they good for a while? Okay, got my notes. So we're going to look at a lot of stuff. Saddle in. Okay. They're like, oh my gosh, we're already 9 minutes in and she just told us to saddle in. Yes. I did the same thing with the dragon reading. I was like, this will be a short little reading about dragon messages for you. Just kidding. 6 hours later, we're still talking to group 1. Okay. So that's the messages I'm getting for Boogeyman, for who you are. I am going to get some additional confirmation that you're in the right place. Spirit, just give me some confirmation on names, signs, birthdays, jobs, living situations, family members, anything that gives me an idea or gives them an idea that they're in the right place. Okay, sorry, I had a coughing fit. I had to take time for that. So anything to confirm that they're in the right place. Extra things. Some of you might be a fire sign. Some of you might be born in summer months. I'm feeling a lot of Aries vibes for like the person that's dating somebody, like the person you're dating is an Aries perhaps. 9 of Cups. 10 of Cups. The Empress. My goodness. Yeah, this definitely feels like with the romantic people, like this was like a very like romantic, like awesome, positive connection. For those of you that it's like a platonic, you know, family or friend or a mental illness situation, it also was a very positive situation. So like I do feel like in most cases that like this stuff changed, or at least it feels like it changed to you abruptly recently, or at least, you know, if it's been cycling by now, and if it has been cycling, run, just run. Don't even waste your time. It's my channel, so I can say that. at work I have to kind of like soften the blow and I like just run. It's not because people can't change. They could change, but like they might not, and that's the problem, right? Those like people that pull in close and then pull away and then pull in close and then pull away, they make you literally go crazy. The person that has like mental illness issues, it's like they've had like a regression or a breakdown of some kind, or like some sort of like you may have asked them recently, like, are you taking your medication? You know, like that kind of energy I feel coming through. And you care deeply for this person. For those of you that are being tormented by a supernatural force, this energy is interesting. I hate to open up a whole can of worms here, but like I feel like this entity has some kind of a like an attraction to you. Like you look like some kind of a dream person to them. And it's scary to you because you can't see them. And so they're really trying to get your attention, and it's scary. Okay, so Spirit, I need to ask some questions for my storylines here. And help me, please, stay focused. For the people who are being tormented by a supernatural force at this time, or they believe to be, what is this thing's desire? I mean, I think we know what the desire is, but like, what's the end game, I guess, for this spirit or this entity? Okay, so I can see why they're bothering you, because like they're causing you conflict, and that's like their end game. So that's not good. So like it doesn't feel like a good spirit. But the reason that they're tormenting you is because they feel like attracted to you. So like that's like a weird like abusive like you know, like abusive spouse type in like spirit form. Okay. Let's don't worry. I will help you. But I don't want to take away from the other piles as well. So let me just ask. Sorry, somebody was calling another phone and it was very loud. Let me ask what the outcome with this spirit is going to be. Like, what's the worst they could do? Let's do that. Let's really scare you or make you feel better. Cause like heartache. Yeah, I feel like they've kind of already done the worst that they can. Like cause like mental unrest, caused like maybe some heartache. Like maybe there's been times where you felt heartache and you didn't understand why you were feeling those feelings. Maybe you feel like maybe like a relationship didn't work out when it seemed like everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden it didn't work out. You know, that kind of energy is also coming through. But I feel like that already happened if that was going to happen. I just feel like they're just like causing you to like not feel at peace, and that's not good. And that their like intentions for you are obviously not good. So like here's the deal. At the end of this reading, I'm going to just give you a special little note on what to do if you need. Those of you who are not in that storyline can bounce out at the end. Sound good? Okay. So Sparts. You guys get this one too. Whenever you hear me say Sparts. It's just a goofy way that I say spirits. Okay. To find out more about that, you have to watch more videos. Binge away, my friends. Share, subscribe. All that. Okay. For the people who have this romance that's suddenly pulling away, because it felt so good at first. What changed? Okay, thank you. The guides that just popped in are telling me that these cards also relate. This person, for some of you, we'll see if there's another storyline for others, if I can get it. So take this if it resonates for you. For some of you, this person likes to pull in close and then pull away and do it over and over again because, and if they haven't done it over and over again yet, they might just be on their first cycle. Like I would say that if you've only been dating them for like 3 to 6 months, this could be well within that time frame, okay, or earlier. But they come in close and then they pull away. And the reason they do it is because they like you. They want to keep you around. They might even care for you deeply. Okay. But they don't want to do the commitment work, which would be like making sacrifices, having to answer to you, having to do what you want to do sometimes, etc. and so forth. And also having to worry about you leaving them if they displease you in some way. Well, anybody's going to be displeased if somebody doesn't want to make sacrifices from them occasionally. And so they want to avoid all that. And so then they pull away from you and then they come back in again. And meanwhile, you're over there like, what happened? Where'd you go? What's going on? And you stay right after them, stay waiting for them, whatever. You don't go off and just go dating somebody else. And that's how they play it so that they don't have to change. Okay, that's one big storyline to come through. So especially if you're seeing this in a cycle. So like if they've never done this before, but then they come back and they act like A, either nothing went wrong, or B, they act like you're the one that hasn't been in touch and they're hurt by that. That's totally what they're doing. And prepare yourself for that cycle to repeat. Okay. So that's definitely coming through for you guys. So Spirit, is there anything from these two cards for the people who are dealing with the mentally ill friend? Okay, there was some kind of trigger or conflict that happened that has made them worse. A stress in their life, a change that took place, a breakup perhaps, conflict at work, conflict at home, some sort of an outside stressor that has affected them and made their mental status and their emotional status like much more depressed or upset or, unwell. Okay. And so thank you, Spirit, for getting all those cards out all at once. That was really cool. Okay. What to do. I'm going to do a what to do for all of you. It's not just at the end for the supernatural people. We'll do you at the end, but let's start with the people who are dealing with a person that is in this pattern. So Spirit, is there anybody in this group, just give me a quick yes or no, where this is not a pattern, that this is just an out of the blue scenario? Because we need to address that if that's what this is. Can I just get a card for yes or a no? Yes, if the scenario is more than a cycle, if it's something different. Okay, so that's a no. Okay, so if this is something that feels out of the blue, it feels like it's something that's just starting. Okay, if that doesn't resonate with you, I'm sorry. I have to go with the messages that are coming out. So Spirit, what should they do? These people that are in this romance where this cycle is just starting or this cycle has been going on, what should they do? Seven of Swords. Ace of Pentacles. And Death in Reverse. Interesting card, Spirit. What should you do? For those of you that have been in this cycle for so long, I feel like communication has run its course and you've tried every which way. And they keep doing the same thing. And it's time to move on and do something new because nothing is going to change. That's the message that's coming through for those of you that have been in this cycle for a long time. For those of you who feel that this cycle has just come out of the blue, okay, your guides are showing that this cycle is just starting, that they're a pro at it. It's just starting. This is the beginning of it. And they're not going to change. So in either or, I would say my main advice, friend to friend, I'd be like, run, can they change? Yes. Will they not? Probably not, because like people don't like to change, especially when something's working for them. It's really an effective tactic to do because like it's like a fishing line, like they lure you. Meanwhile, they can like leave you on the dangle, as they call it, and go have a sandwich or whatever, and then come back and you're right there. And it's painful on the dangle. Because you're like, what are you going to do with me now? Is that fun? No, it sucks. I've been there. We've all been there with somebody. It could be a platonic friend. It could have been, when we were young. It could be a family member that we were like super there for and they're just not there for us. But it really happens with romance a lot. A lot. I'd say like 98% of my business, guys. So run. I just can't stress this. You can stay, but set boundaries and stick to them, because like they're going to keep trying to run over those boundaries when you set them. They're going to run them over because they're used to not having to deal with that. So you set a boundary, they're going to try to run it over. You got to hold it, and they'll try to outdo you. And that's why it's so hard to try to get them to change, because they will just try to outdo you. Well, I hate you, I'm going to run away. They gaslight you and they withdraw. And then you're stuck waiting for them some more. And it can take years. Okay, so that's why I'm being so frank and earnest with you, because I've seen people waste years of their life on people like that. It just absolutely drains you to the point of feeling insane. And you're already kind of feeling insane if you're in this boat already. We read that earlier. So that's that for you, okay? Sparts. For the people who are dealing with a mentally ill family or friend, possibly romantic, but maybe not. What was this trigger that happened? And what should they do? What was the trigger that happened? And what should they do? The trigger had something to do with their future plans. Like, I really feel like breakup vibes, or like some kind of job issue, school issue, something that upset future plans that they thought were going to be like the big cool thing that was going to happen to them. And now that's been taken away in some way or altered in some way. And it's been very triggering and stressful for them. It could be like even just how they thought the future was going to be with their parents, like a divorce between their parents can trigger things like this, like it whatever, you know what I'm saying? Something that they thought was going to be in the future got altered. And that was a very big trigger for them. What can you do about it? They're just saying to be supportive, to be a mirror if you can. And by being a mirror, I mean to let them know if like they're spiraling. And like sometimes people can get really mad at you when you do that. But if they're at all committed to mental health, and I feel like some of them have been doing well for a while, okay, it's important to point out to somebody that they might not be all functioning entirely, or that they might not be regulated, right? Because they need to know. It's better than not knowing, right? So that's my advice to you from your guides. Sparts for those who are being tormented by some sort of supernatural force. What should they do? Okay. So saying, like, since it doesn't seem friendly, to not really engage with it too much, especially not to engage with fear tactics. So like if you hear a big loud noise and you've established that it's not a burglar or some like outside physical force that could actually harm you, right? Then ignore it as best you can, or give it as little reaction as possible. I shouldn't say like ignore it, but give it as little reaction as possible, okay? The more fear and startled and, oh my gosh, this is really happening, you give it, like the more it feeds on it, makes it more powerful, etc. and so forth. And then they say to like take action with words, which is easy enough. Simply say, you are not welcome here. Get out in the name of your creator that you pray to. Do a ritual that has words that you speak your intention. Speak your intention that they are not allowed to come in. And they're not allowed to come back. And anybody that has any sort of like bad intention is not allowed to cross this threshold into my home or into my space. It's a really important thing to do when you're into esoteric practices because, like, if you're hanging out in the area, you're going to get the rough types too, right? They're just going to show up from time to time. So that's something to keep in mind, something to be cautious of, the deal, okay? Expel that sucker. Yeah, it doesn't mean you any good. And I feel like it's time for you to learn how to expel these types of entities so that you learn how powerful you are. Because I've never met a human being that was not more powerful than like a dark entity that was like giving them the heebie-jeebies at night. Okay, no matter how scary it got. It's the belief, the limitation of belief that becomes an issue. So believe in yourself that you have the ability to get rid of it, and you will. But use words to get rid of it. Believe your words. Okay, let's look at some more things. I want to see what spirit animals are coming forward for you to help you through this situation. You guys had a lot of situations. This is going to be a long one, y'all. And what about 3? I see 3. Okay. She's a little bit naked. They did kind of cover her up, but just for safety's sake. We have the nymph with promiscuity. That's the word. See? Promiscuity. There she is, being all nymph-like. A little hussy. Okay. The nymph card, I definitely feel like there's been like this cheating vibe with like some of those like unavailable people that they have a very overactive drive and they will take it where they can get it. That is one message coming through with that card. We have the fairy with glamour. We have the dwarf with resourceful. Okay. Something that bothers me about these cards is that they're not all in noun form. They're in different forms. And so I'm like, I feel like that should say resourcefulness if that says glamour. Oh my gosh, it's so awful for an English teacher, former English teacher. She needs to get over it. New life, new lingo. Okay, let's see here. The nymph thing. So somebody that is dealing with that aloof person who pulls in close and then pulls away energy. I need to find a term for that. Okay. They're seeing other people, or they will if they can. Okay, so that's something that you might need to, that's a push somebody needed to hear. Okay. They're pulling the wool over your eyes. They're glamoring you. They're letting you see things that make you feel like it's going to get better, but then it doesn't. You have what it takes to walk away. You have what it takes to find somebody better. You deserve someone better. That is my message to you through this, okay? Not all of them are cheating, but who cares? They're not doing what you need them to do, yo. They're being selfish. I don't like it. They're being selfish and unavailable. My cat is over here getting all irritated by it. And her name is Lily, and she has no tolerance for a-holes, huh? That's right. Okay. So take her message as well. That's my message to you. For those of you who are dealing with a mentally ill family or friend, they might be hiding this from you a little bit. Okay. I feel like somebody might have stopped taking their meds because it has affected their sexuality a little bit. Like they can't enjoy their sexuality as much if they're on their meds, that kind of thing. So they stopped taking it because they were like trying to enjoy their time with somebody, and then things spiraled out of control. They might be hiding that from you. Okay. Use the resources that you have available to you before you confront this person. Call somebody, in the US we have 988. It's a crisis line. And like everybody thinks it's just for like suicide, right? Am I allowed to say that? Oh, well. Like, even though I'm talking about helping those people, like, it still, like, gets me in trouble. Okay, so anyway, it's not just for that. It's also for any kind of crisis that you're dealing with. So if you want to call somebody and say, oh, my friend, my family member, I think they're off their meds. What should I do? What can I do? What should I not do? They can help you. It's free. Give it a shot. Okay, if you live in a different country, Google, what's the national crisis line for my country, and it will bring it up. It will bring up something, okay? And they will at least be able to get you to the people that you need to talk to, professionals that just want to help, that are willing to go above and beyond to help you in any way they can. And so use the resources available to you. That will help get you started, okay? Since I'm not a mental health professional, that's like as far as I go, but like that's where a really good place to start. That's where I would start in my own personal situation. And I have dealt with situations like that personally. Okay. So that being said, let's talk about the people who are being tormented by some kind of an entity. This entity definitely has some kind of an attraction to you physically. So definitely verbalizing that that's not on the table is also helpful, okay? Letting them know that you're powerful enough to stop them to the point where they don't exist anymore is also helpful. Because you are. All you have to do is will it, and it will be so. You just have to believe it. That's the thing, okay? So once you start trucking with this stuff that we're trucking with, you see them, they see you. Not all of them are nice, okay? And I feel like this came to you, if you feel like this came out of the blue, right? It could have attached from somewhere else or from someone else. That does happen. You just need to do a clean sweep of your place. Make sure that the intentions are that they must leave. Utilize your guides, your resources that you have, okay? It could try to glamour you in some way. So if you have any like super sexy dreams about anything that looks super ideal or something along those lines, kind of take note of what's popping into your head, okay? Especially anything that feels spicy. Makes sense following what I'm saying here? Okay. Thank you. Animal cards. Not very many animals showed up for you. I guess it's familiars, not animals. Yeah, I lied. It's familiars. I thought it was animals, but it's familiars. So there are some animals in there. I got confused. Okay, moving along. What magic should they practice? Sparts. Thank you. Goodness. Okay. You also got Labyrinth. I think group 2 got Labyrinth. Transition to a higher level of being, raising your energetic vibration with enlightenment. Yes. Very relevant for all of your situations. Like, transition to something beyond yourself. If you're dealing with somebody that's mentally ill, transition and use resources outside of yourself. Get help is the simplest way to put that. For those of you who are dealing with a person who is not there for you, you can do better. And even if you can't and you stay alone forever, is it not worse to be with somebody that makes you feel like dirt every 3 to 6 months or however long you get in that cycle before they push you away again? I mean, like, you tell me what's worth it, right? But I'm not saying you're going to be alone forever. Nobody has to be alone forever. I'm just saying that being alone forever would be better than being with somebody like that. And I'm just saying that because it's the truth. It might not feel like the truth, but it's the truth. Okay, so transition to higher standards, higher expectations of your partners. There are people out there that don't leave you guessing, that don't play these emotional push-pull, energetic pull and push games, okay? They let you go. They want you to be happy. They whatever, okay? It's possible. Those of you that are dealing with an entity, yeah, transition to a higher level of being. Like, if they're powerful enough to torment you and they're a powerful being that exists outside of the physical world, you, my friend, are somebody that came from a non-physical world into the physical world and yet exist in it better than they can. Therefore, you're more powerful. You have to find these reasons to believe. Whatever they are. If it's your creator is more powerful than anything, and if you call on your creator, then it gets rid of it. That works. That'll work for you if that's what you believe. If you believe that you just have the power within yourself, awesome. If you believe that you can channel the power from your creator through yourself, blah, blah, blah. It just depends on what you believe in. Whatever works for you, whatever channels that belief the most is what makes it work. So that is my advice to you with the Labyrinth card. Trace that if you wish. Look at it, study it, use it, draw it. What is this going to open? I feel this door for you. I really do. And you know what? I feel this red door as well. You get 2 doors. Let's see. We have freedom flows. Don't hold yourself back from worldly freedom. Dream grand things for divine sacred reason. Yeah, don't hold yourself back. Don't settle for mediocrity in relationships. Don't settle for somebody who doesn't give you what you're giving them, etc. We'll cover him up too because he's also shirtless. Okay, here's this red door that spoke to me as well. We have intuition. Simple, complex words of pain or words that heal. You come to know truth by the way that it feels. Yes. Huge. You'll know that thing is gone when you feel it go, right? You'll know that you're not alone when you hear that other voice of help on the line. You'll know that you deserve better when you get it, when you walk away from what isn't working for you. You feel better when you walk away from pain. Okay. Okay, what else do I have for you? These. Ooh. Any last advice, Sparks? Oh my gosh. Advice. You're just breaking all the rules. You got 3 of these instead of 2. Grieving. Financial health. And dreams. I feel like they're saying what to expect as you move forward with this, okay? For those of you who have an entity in your home, sometimes there's a grieving process when you kick them out. You might feel guilty. I think some of them put that on you, and some of us, we miss having something special happen to us in this very dreary physical world of fax machines and CD players. High-tech 8-tracks and vacuum sweepers and toaster ovens. Okay. Anyway, there might be a grieving period for that. There's going to be a grieving period for somebody if you walk away from them because they're not there for you. There's a grieving period for the time where your person was doing okay and now they're not doing so well. Something changed, something triggered them, and now we're back to square one, it feels like, or maybe even worse than before, okay? The good news is there is financial health coming. I think your guides want you to focus on some positive things. I feel like for some of you, as you move forward and get help for the situations, transition how you need to transition, it might save some of you money depending on your individual situations, okay? And then the dreams. There's going to be dreams that you have, and they're to help you through, not to like torment you, okay? So if they feel disturbing, just try to unpack them in a way that's objective. Like, this wasn't meant to scare me, this was meant to teach me something. So why did it come in a scary way? Why would that happen? And just talk yourself through it, okay? Book a reading with me. I'll help you. Speaking of that, I need to start putting my packages in the actual description box. I'll start doing that. I need to start doing that. All right. Thank you for being here. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well if you'd like to book a private reading with me. There are ways to do so in the description box. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, group 4. So if you picked this clover, let's get into what fairy is speaking to you. We have Beltane, one of the Fairy Festival cards. So this is about celebration. Woohoo for us, group 4. Man, group 1, 2, and 3 are having all kinds of problems. Sucks to be them. They like watch both. They're like, hey, screw you, Miriam. Yeah. Okay. I kid. Beltane. So let's read from the book, shall we? I'm feeling like community orientation, enjoying each other's company, just feeling like connected to your fellow human beings, which is very beautiful, very nice. I like that for you. It feels very, very warm and good. Okay, so let's see what else is going on. So this card depicts a fairy mound on May Eve, surrounded by reveling fairies holding little lanterns. Above the mound is a large full moon, and outlined against it stands the fairy queen of the mound holding a golden cup. In the foreground is a little green-skinned fairy with pointed animal ears. May Day is the first day of May and marks the start of summer in many countries of the Northern Hemisphere, and ancient Celts called it Beltane and started the celebrations on May Eve. In England, May Day was and still is celebrated with Morris dancing, circling the maypole, and gathering haythorn blossoms from the greenwood. A number of fairies become industrious around this time, particularly those associated with vegetation, the spring, and summer, and forest spirits such as Puck and Robin Goodfellow. Fairies may occasionally be glimpsed going about their business at Beltane. It is a very magical time, and anyone sleeping beneath a solitary hawthorn on May Day is liable to be kidnapped by fairies or accidentally flip into fairyland. So be careful. If you end up there, don't eat anything. Don't eat anything. Some of you might be born in May. Some of you might be watching this during the month of May. Some of you might be planning some kind of a festival that's going to happen in May. I feel like some of you might be involved with a community orientation around graduation. So maybe you're involved in some kind of community orientation of planning graduation. Maybe you're a teacher, maybe you are a principal, or just a very involved community member, a mom, whatever, dad, whatever, coach. Let's look some more. Here we are. Whatever that is, Callie Bower, a Scottish winter hag whose powers wane with the onset of spring, finally gives up her struggle against the summer, flinging her staff under a holly tree, and shrieks to a grey stone to wait until her season comes again. That's me. In Leicestershire, England. I might have butchered that. Let me know. The Black Annis hunt was once held every May Day to chase the summer hare. Black Annis is a midland winter hag fairy, and hunt symbolized the end of her winter reign and the start of summer. In Celtic cultures, it was taboo to hunt the sacred hare at any other time. Okay. Sucks for the bunny rabbits, I guess. Reminds me of that movie Snatch, as in Grab, by Guy Ritchie, where they do that thing called coursing, where they go and set dogs on hares and then bet on which one gets away or gets eaten or whatever. Okay. In Arthurian legend, Guinevere, thought by many to be of fairy origin, rode out a Maying to collect greenery and hawthorn flowers from the greenwood. She may be a later form of the Welsh goddess Blodynwyd, who began life as a maiden composed of flowers and finished as an owl, a white phantom, as benefits a seasonal goddess of life and death. Goodness, interesting. May Day is also connected with Robin Hood. In fact, in England, it was called Robin Hood's Day. He was an outlaw of the greenwood who dressed in Lincoln green and may perhaps have been a spirit of the forest himself. In Britain, some of the ancient spirits and gods passed into lore as woodland fairies, often given the name of Hob, Robin, or Robin Goodfellow, and this may be the real origin of the legends of Robin Hood. Cool. Consider his name, his green clothing, his forest home, and his deadly arrows. Perhaps he was the nature god of the ordinary people who could seek him in the forest. In some traditional witch covens, the Lord is addressed as Robin and Lady of Marion. Okay. That was quite the history lesson. The more you know. Divinatory meanings. When the Beltane Festival card appears in a spread, it heralds mighty forces of strength, blossoming, flourishing, growth, happiness, love, marriage, new relationship, virility, energy, and fertility. Reversed meaning doesn't matter because you didn't get it. Okay. So what struck me is this like celebratory idea and this like leading up to a celebration. So like I definitely still feel those graduation vibes or like, yeah, wedding vibes, any type of like rite of passage where things are going to be a big change and there's a ceremony in the spring, right? Would count and you would know you're in the right place. So your guys are just showing that like things are going to be good. Like this is a good time and like enjoy it. It should last. It should be wonderful. It should keep on going. I'm getting vibes like I felt when I first started teaching of just like being involved with the community and like having this whole new persona attached to me and a whole new responsibility to my community. You know, it was a special time. I feel that for you, like this special time. Some of you might have joined up with some kind of a group, you know, that just really makes you feel like at home and that you're doing positive things and your routines are special, your traditions are special. It's just feeling very nice and specially. I like it for you. What else can I say about that? Yeah, just like growth, love, happiness. Like, I don't want to make the fourth reading shorter, but when it's all good news, it's kind of hard to go forward that way. Yeah, weddings, graduations, rites of passage. I feel so much like community involvement. I feel like there's like a special festival that's like unique to just your community. I lived in a place one time where they had like really weird little traditions. And as a kid, I thought that was just like, oh, they do this everywhere on 4th of July. And then I like went out into the world and they were like, where the heck are you from? No, we don't do porcupine racing. What? I'm like, yeah, me either. I was just asking. This is you. Yeah, no, I don't know what that means. Yeah, this is just made it up. Funny. Huh? It was a joke. It's a joke between me and my friend. Anyway. But like, happy fun time. Oh, prom. Somebody just said prom. Maybe somebody's kid is going to prom or like you're chaperoning a prom and like for some reason this is special to you. Being an ex-high school English teacher, I can't imagine what would be special about prom to anyone, but you know, the kids that are going to prom and their parents. So maybe you have a kid going to prom and you're a parent. Maybe you're too young to be watching this channel. Maybe you're a senior who is 18 and you are old enough to watch this channel and you are going to prom. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what your deal is. No, I'm happy for you. I like it for you. I feel like this is a happy, festive time. I feel like your guides are saying to just lean into it and enjoy it. I feel like you are. Yeah, you might just be here for confirmation, or maybe you just saw this and just felt drawn to it. And it's just a way of knowing that this is a place to find that, you know, your guides are here and they want to help you. You know, I have a thing with, sometimes I'll do pick a card readings just to see which readers I connect with by looking up something that I know about already, like something I know I have or something, you know, and see if they match, you know, what I already know. And then I know that we have a good connection, right? Because I think that everybody has like the abilities, because like otherwise they wouldn't get followers at all. It just doesn't matter of finding that channel that way that's right, that helps you find the answers that you're looking for. I feel like there's something special coming forward for you on the full moon of this month that you're watching, whatever month that you happen to be watching. May is obviously going to be a significant month for a lot of you. Okay, let's go ahead and check out your tarot because I want to see some more individual situations if I can. The guys are being kind of stubborn, and the other group's doing it this way, though. Help me, Sparts. Oh. anxiety, sleepless nights. Some of you might suffer from anxiety. Some of you might know somebody who suffers from anxiety. That's just a little hint that you're in the right place. Some of you might have anxiety, and having moments like these where you feel calm and in the right place are very like fleeting or surreal to you. The Hierophant, definitely getting teacher and school vibes and community vibes, being a role model vibes. Page of Wands, definitely feeling that some of you are new to this environment, to this community orientation. But it's just like, it's such a happy time. If you're like, yes, I'm in a happy time in my life right now, you can take that as confirmation you're in the right spot. What other things can you tell me? I heard the name Taylor. Could be you, could be somebody else. If you know the name, it sticks out to you. It's just confirmation you're in the right place. What? Something with an F. I lost it. The devil. Oh, okay. Some of you are recovering addicts. Or you know somebody who is, and maybe you're worried about that person. Or maybe somebody that you know, you're a recovering addict and they're like in recovery with you and they're going through a hard time and you're worried about it upsetting your little community. You don't want to lose like part of your family if somebody goes back out there. Understandable. What else? Other situations. Some of you are single, but you're okay with it. You like it. And you love your cat. And some of you are self-sufficient. You support yourself. You don't need like a partner. You own your own home, or you pay all your own bills, etc. Three of Cups. Some of you have two very close friends to you that you have drinks with. One of them might really like frogs or sea life. And then like, look how like, she almost looks like she's drowning. I feel like some of you with that addiction energy, that some of you might have friends who, two very close friends who are in recovery with you. And you're worried that one of them is not going to make it. That's definitely coming through. Just while we're on that, I am getting Justice. So that could be confirmation that this could level out. But I just want to get a little bit Spirit for the addiction crew that are worried about their friend, or anybody that's worried about their friend. Can you show them something to make them feel better? You can talk to them. They would be receptive to you if you take that action towards them. They would see eye to eye with you and not feel judged if you want to go and talk to them. And this is also about not judging. And I see them taking appropriate action in the long run. What else, Spirit? Who else is here with us? What about these people that are entering into this situation? What kind of jobs do they have besides teachers? Conflict management of some kind. Interesting. I feel such a weird connection to like healthcare and teacher stuff. And I can't tell if that's just my stuff, or what. That like it projects in that way, so that I know that it's that type of like community oriented type profession. A community oriented type of profession where you deal with conflict. So like if you work in a school, it could be a school where you deal with like really difficult like areas, really difficult like children, really difficult financial situations. You could be in law enforcement, or some type of law, social work, anything where you handle crisis or conflict management. So you could be in customer service even. You could just work at a help desk or do tech support. Something where you deal with conflicts and resolve conflicts. What else do they do for a living? I heard like a self-harm hotline person. That's very specific. Good for you if you do that. I'd love to do that. Do you have to be a counselor to do that? I would think you would have to be certified in some way. Some of you do some kind of online work where you, you might do crisis counseling online. Interesting. Other things about this group spirit. I get some birthdays or times of birth. Well, here's some. That looks like Scorpio. That looks like Aquarius. That looks like Taurus. I don't know what that one is. But I guess if it's your sign, you would know, right? Which one is that? Oh, dang it. Oh, I don't want to pause and look it up, but I want to, but no, my computer's too far away. Okay, that decided it for me. We're just going to have to leave it as a mystery. The King of Wands again. You got the King of Wands twice. So definitely some fire sign energy. Aries. Is it Aries, Sagittarius? What's the other one? Brig. I don't know what the other one is. I don't know astrology very well, you guys. You could have also been born this summer. That's what I use the cards for. Is like you were born around like June, July, August. Or somebody that you know is. Or that's significant time for you. Some of you could be in love right now. Some of you could like snakes or have a pet snake. Some of you could have a sword collection. Some of you really cherish your alone time. I have that single vibe again, like I got that from the Nine of Pentacles. So if I start relapsing, there's that addiction thing again. Interesting, you guys. I feel like major like alcoholism vibes. Like being in program and like knowing what alcoholism is. Like, recognizing it as a disease, researching it, understanding how it works, understanding the different methods of how to try to fix it or manage it. Okay. Ruby, the name Ruby just came out. Rooster. What? Okay, that came out for some reason. Rodney, Rosie, Roxanne, Bradley, Brewster, Tamara, Cody, Tristan, the Hanged Man in reverse. Yeah, things are moving forward for this group. I don't feel a lot of stagnation. I feel good things coming for you. So make sure that everybody that's wanting those things knows that you're in the right place. Let's just do one more. Any other details? Okay, two more. Some of you might have a very big family that has a lot of money. Some of you might like octopuses. And it's octopuses, not octopi. Look it up. It's octopuses or octopodes if you want to get like technical about it. But to get really, really technical about it, octopuses is actually the one. I know it doesn't sound great. And the Emperor, yeah. This is a good time for you. I'll put that right on top of your two King of Wands that you got. What else? Sorry. Healing from heartache. Excellent group 4. Well, this is good news. And I think now you have an idea of who you are and that you're in the right place. Oh, somebody had a hard life up until now. Things are turning. My goodness, sorry. Things are turning around. I have an air bubble. Okay, that's gone. All right, let's go ahead and get some info on what familiars, I kept saying animals in the other group, so you're the only one that got it right. I caught it in group 3 and corrected it in group 4. You just have to move forward. I don't have time to edit these. Like, who cares? Nobody watches them. Share and subscribe. What familiars are going to help you during this time? The red squirrel. Conscientious. Squirrels always remind me, that 9 of Pentacles for some of you, about like using your resources well, saving your money, and then like having a big payoff. Like, I see people doing that like emotionally as well, like maintaining their relationships in a way that doesn't drive them insane. It's really cool to watch when you see people that know how to do it. We have Brownie. Protection. So you have protection over you at this time with a Brownie. So you have 2 fairies that came in here. Well, you had the whole fairy festival, Beltane. And then you have the Brownie coming in. So you might want to look up brownies. Actually, we might look up Brownie for you in the book, because this was supposed to be a fairy reading. And the Mole with superstition. I feel like some of you have always been sort of superstitious. That's because you know things. You know the stuff. You know magic-y things. Secrets of the universe. You know things. All right, let's look at Brownie. Oh, bless their hearts for alphabetizing. I'm old school. I don't know how to do it any other way. Okay. So under here we have invitation to work through the night. Okay. Tasks to complete when out of one's sight. Protection in place. Secrets to keep within hearth and home. Safe now to sleep. I call upon Brownie to assist me and harness this power, so mote it be. Your wonderful good news stuff is protected. Your goodies that you've collected, your sobriety or your love, your whatever is protected. Your friend. Okay. So we went through a lot of scenarios, so I can't say them all because I can't remember them all. But if I said you remember, that is protected. Okay. If you're a superstitious person, a good way to appease fairies and beings that look out for your best interest, the familiars that are good and they want your best interests at heart, only invite them in using those words so that you don't attract in any rough critters out there. Okay. And you thank them. You do things for them. Find out what Brownie's like. Find out what you can do to make them like happy that they protected you. What can you do to make them happy? Okay. Now, if you're a drinker and they're like, leave out rum for them, like, don't do that if it's going to be a trigger. Okay. So let's just read some more. We have danger lurks in the darkest shadows as outside forces require you to be on your guard right now. Creaky floorboards, spooky sounds, and ghostly whispers are not comforting nighttime companions, and vulnerability to the action of others has left you feeling threatened. Allow me to accompany you as you retreat within to preserve all that you hold dear. I'm getting another message coming through that some of you, even though this wonderful new energy is opening up with the community, new jobs, new connections, some of you may not be getting very good sleep. I feel like there might be this anxiety of losing everything. And so this protection energy is important. I'm sorry, this print is so small. I'm going to hold it back away this way so I can read it better, and then I'll hold it up for you. Allow me to accompany you as you retreat within to preserve all that you hold dear as guardian of your hearth and home. Invite me across your threshold to protect all that is sacred to you as I employ a little brownie magic in a non-confrontational manner. I offer to be eternally helpful if you allow me to go quietly about my business. As I watch over the burning fire and complete unfinished tasks in the dead of night, you can rest in your bed, safely assured, while I create protective barriers to drive away unwelcome visitors and safeguard your secrets. However, treat me badly or try to assist me, and I will leave or turn into a malicious Bogart. Well, we don't like those. I have to look up Bogart. I believe I have a Bogart somewhere in this deck up here. So, good thing you didn't get one of those. So, do things that they like. Do things that give them thanks, that they're protecting you. Let them do things for you. Relax. Relax and enjoy your wonderful fortune that you've acquired. Well, let's look at some more familiars. Foresight. Oh, yeah, I was going to let you look at that. Okay. Oh, so pause this if you need to see it or read it with me. And then I'm going to read it over here. It says, use the pentagram symbol for protection. Keep your secrets close to your chest. Work as a solitary. Guard yourself against negative energies. Add safety precautions to your home. Time to defend your honor and beliefs. Put family protection first. You are safe. Pentagram or pentacle star is this guy right here without the cat face in the middle. Here's a pretty one. We're going to get into these in a second. Okay. Are those barn stars that you see on the sides of the houses? Those are protection symbols as well. People just don't realize it. They think they're decoration. Okay, here's this part. Pause if you need. And now I shall read. Brownie witchy tips. Brownies protect what is sacred to you, from home and family to beliefs. Work with brownie magic to keep something under the radar. Leave a bowl of cream by the hearth as an offering. Brownies don't like to be seen, nor do they accept help or praise in return for their household chores. They will walk away if insulted. Okay, so don't praise them. Thank them in other ways. Thank them by letting them be, I guess. Thank them by giving them a little bowl of cream. I like to just leave the cream sitting out for a while, or leave butter on the table. And that usually seems to keep my house nice and fairy friendly as far as I can tell. Okay, so just show them appreciation. Find a niche. Do some research. Yes. Make sure people show them respect. Maybe get a little brownie statue of some kind that looks like what a brownie would look like to you and put it up in your house somewhere as like a little shrine, just cute stuff like that. They love that stuff. Okay. What magic should you be doing during this time? I see it. I see two of them actually for you. Aren't you special? Hello, Lily. My cat Lily keeps coming in. Oh my gosh, you cannot make that up. Oh, they said to use the pentacle star, and then here it is. Dudes, seriously? You watch me live shuffle. You can't make this up. And the number 555. I love the number 5. Trinka 5, manifesting money and income. Yeah, just keep manifesting this great energy that you're getting, because you've got great energy going on here. Like excellent energy even. I'll cover up your cute little squirrel. Then we have the elements. The elements of fire, air, earth, and water contribute or combine to create powerful protective boundaries, spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. So you're talking about protection. You can help your brownie friends by doing an elemental cleansing of your home. Elemental cleansing of yourself. You just kind of I do the one where you just kind of walk through your house. I got this from Scott Cunningham's The Magical Household. That book is haunting me. It's because I need to spring clean my home, and I hate doing it because I'm allergic to dust. No. I wish I was rich so I could pay somebody to clean for me. Anyway, pray for that for me. So anywho, Yeah, like there's a book called The Magical Household by Scott Cunningham, and there's an elemental house cleansing ritual that I've done in a couple of different houses when I first moved into them. I've done it in 4 now. And it's very simple. Like you just walk clockwise through each corner of every room and you sprinkle water, and then you also, in all the corners, and you say, oh, by the power of water I cleanse this house, and then you do it with everything else. Like I don't use incense, so I used matches and lit a ton of matches. It was a very wasteful night with matches, but you can use sage or whatever you want. Another thing that I'm gonna get is like some kind of a sacred feather to just blow the air and use that as my air magic, so that I don't have to like burn things. Okay, so if you're sensitive to stuff burning like I am, or sensitivities, then that's a good way to do it. Another way to do air is like have a drum, because the air from the drum and the sound from the vibration, I feel like counts as air. And I have a drum, and it's also made from like leather, and so that also comes from like the earth. And so it also has some earth elements in it as well. Okay, and wood, if you like the wood thing. So like if you do Chinese energy, they have more than one element, or more than 4 elements. They have earth, air, fire, water, then they have metal and wood, and then they have spirit. So if you look at this guy right here, earth, air, fire, water, right? Spirit, right? They think of it as earth, air, fire, water, wood, and then metal, and then spirit, whatever. I don't know. Whatever. I messed it up, but you get the idea. Just different little differences, but like the same symbol is what I mean. And so, yeah, let me know if you ever want me to do a video on those, and I will. But if you don't tell me to, I'm not going to, because I don't think anybody would watch them if you guys don't ask. Okay, so those are sigils and numbers, elements that you can use during this time to protect yourself, to help the brownie that is protecting you during this very, very wonderful time. It's feeling so good. What doors are going to open for you? I feel like there's going to be way more than one door for you. I like to flip it, so I want to see what doors, and get attracted to them that way and cheat. 3 doors. Any other doors? That's what I thought. 2 more doors. Okay. Let's look at them. Okay. Door. Here's one. This is Nomad. The nomady wanderer lies deep inside, so take the leap now. Don't crawl back and hide. So some of you might be, your community could be some kind of nomadic community. That's interesting. Your connections and things that you're making could also open doors to some kind of travel. That's also coming through. We have the red door here. Intuition, simple, complex words of pain or words that heal. You come to know truth by the way that it feels. I feel like some of you, that have had a hard life up until now, feel like the other shoe might drop. And your guides are saying that this is a good time. It's going to stay good. So just embrace it. And the more you embrace it, the more you protect it, because you manifest it to stay great. Okay? Man, this is advice I should take. Another door. 3 of Cups, a toast to friendship in the afternoon sun. The 3 cups to happiness. 3 cheers are done. Yeah. Cheers to you, my good friends, and your wonderful luck. And I'm like your reader today. 5 is like my lucky number. So just so you know, you got all kinds of luck up here. There's another door. Look at that staircase leading up to that light. Heart healing. Yep. Morning now has had its time. Do not pay it a single dime. Emerge from the darkness. A new day starts. Let light embrace the healing heart. And last but not least, very pretty door. Inner power by your own command. You brought yourself here. At this moment in life, you have nothing to fear. Aw. Well, I like it. Group 4. What beautiful energy you're getting from these beautiful little doors. What wonderful things are opening up for you. Yay! Okay. Something else. Okay. I think we're back to here. Our last cards of the day for your reading. Other last minute things you want them to know. Sparts. Okay. They're like, there might be more. Like, okay. There's a lot of scenarios. I think that's why. Okay. Fertility. So some of you were hoping to be having a baby that you're going to have that village help you raise. That could be coming for you. I'm like, it's coming for you. If you don't want to have one, you might want to use extra protection. Going right along. Blessings. Nudity. What could be wrong when we have all that? Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, miss. She was blessed. Okay. We also have transformation. Beautiful. I love this card. It's so pretty. It reminds me of, what is that, Murano glass? That glass that they make with the pretty flower designs that get all warped because of the glass. Anyway. And last but not least, finding. Yeah. Transforming into the wonderful, like, glorious time that this is. My goodness, I just can't. You can't even make this up how positive this is for you, group 4. So with that, I'm going to leave you on a high note. If this is helpful, tell me how in the comment section. Give me topic ideas there as well. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, there are ways to do so in the description box. Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next time. Take care. Bye.